This is Charlie Parsons, Boxing Social, and I was about to do the introduction, but I think first I'm just going to pan the camera. Have you ever seen a nicer spot to film an interview? I mean, we are living it up out here. It's the Abu Dhabi Dream, a great card on Saturday night. Bivol takes on the unbeaten Zurdo Ramirez in what is the toughest test of his career. Chantel Cameron, your stablemate, takes on Jessica McCaskill in another incredible fight. And then Zelfa Barrett gets his opportunity to change his whole life in a really, really good fight against Rakhimov. But yourself, staying busy, getting out again. Yeah. Just first things first, the call comes. Abu Dhabi, you must have been over the moon.
Yeah, mate. First time in Abu Dhabi, so it's a beautiful place. I've passed through here before on the way to Dubai and stuff, so I've never been here. And I've always been to like Dubai for like someone else's fight or something. I've never really been here for my own fights and stuff. But what a blessing, man! What someone said to me a year ago, like, when I was a kid, that you'd be fighting here, mate. I'd just ripped their arm off. So to be, I'm blessed, man.
Well, I know that you guys got here just sort of before the media, had time to acclimatise and whatever, but I suppose you don't really need to. The better weather, the better everything's going to be, you're happier, whatever. But how are things? How have you settled in? You've got this lovely room with a lovely balcony, so I imagine you're quite happy with it all, really.
Yeah, mate. Eddie's looking after us, isn't he? With this view and that, looking after us all. I feel like the sun just makes you feel better anyway, doesn't it? And the time difference on fight night, it's not too much anyway, is it? So, there wasn't too much acclimatising. We're okay, yeah. Settled in now and ready to go on Saturday, mate.
Well, let's talk Saturday night. What do you know of your opponent? Obviously, you're going to go in there and you're going to aim for a career best and whatever, but all depends on the man you've got in front of you. What do you know? Have you had time to sort of give a little assessment out and whatnot?
Yeah, I've had a watch him. He's got a winning record and stuff. He's had a few good results against a few English lads, so I've got to be on my game and not take my eye off the ball, considering what's going on and around, surrounded and stuff. So I'm here to do a job, really, and that's it, really. Yeah, just do a job and keep my eye on the ball. Yeah.
I suppose with sort of being able, more shows coming out here now and more stuff going abroad, if you impress now, and it's not, I think also when we come out here, it's important to note that it's not just impressing Eddie and Frank. I think it's also impressing some of the guys who organise these events and sort of the whole Visit Abu Dhabi team, because if there's someone that they see and they take a liking into in the week, they're going to be the ones demanding that they come back in a card. Do you sort of acknowledge that as well?
I didn't really think of it like that, but now you mention it, yeah, so it's a flipping great point, isn't it? But yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah, so no, obviously I look to do that every fight anyway, because there's a lot of people watching. I've got great support as well. I fight not just for myself, but for the people that support me and the people, my family as well. And so I'm always looking to impress and improve. Yeah.
Well, I was speaking to Eddie, I believe it was, off camera, and he said that you've got a load of people coming over. I think you said that they come in tomorrow and you guys are all off to Dubai next week. Real special support, considering, it's not easy for some of the guys to make the trips out here. I know you said, like, you and the lads don't mind coming out here, but, doing it on lesser notice when you plan holidays, you've got all the time in the world. But this is different. To bring that many people over, that's special.
Yeah, no, and you've got to remember as well the stage of my career that I'm at and the sort of fight I'm in. It's not like a big fight, and it's not like a top of the bill, is it, or anything? And for them to travel now, just sort of gives Eddie an impression of, like, when we're in big and important fights, they'll all be travelling out and it'll be amazing. I've got a great fan base, and love to all of them, because it is very hard. It's not easy, especially at the moment, the way the world's going, especially back home. It's people are struggling, and for them to come out and support me at a time like this, it means the world to me.
Well, we were just chatting off camera, and we said, sort of, since I've worked in this industry, we're both from very humble beginnings, and sort of for me and you, we never really got to see the world growing up. I did my first show out Haney Diaz in Vegas last year, and since then, go more and more abroad. You were just saying that sort of you were Frampton's sparring partner, and you were taking around the world, Philadelphia, Dubai, all sorts of places. Just sort of passing the mic to you on that point. How much did you cherish that? Because I feel like sort of we're probably the best two people to speak on that because it was from such a young age. Obviously, slightly different. You can beat the shit out of people. I just get the pleasure of holding the mic and being a fat bastard. But, you know, nevertheless, it's the same. It's that travelling from young and being able to see the world doing what you love.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? For me and obviously you as well, we work hard and stuff like this. I feel like there's no accidents in life, and whatever God wills will happen. And yeah, I was lucky enough to, when I was 18, 19, similar age, to get around sparring with Frampton and stuff, and Chantel was fighting in Vegas and got to go out to that and stuff. But you know, I feel like them moments trained me for now, and got me ready for this. So mentally I'm prepared, physically I know what it takes. So yeah, I'm lucky and we're blessed. You know, alhamdulillah, God has been great to us. So you know, everything comes from Him, and we're blessed. You know, I'm very lucky. Yeah.
For yourself, your upbringing, I know that sort of boxing was always something that sort of, I imagine, was around. But, you know, your parents and everything, I imagine they're very supportive now, seeing you do what you do. But I suppose in my case, from a young age, my mum, I suppose, was never sceptical, always supporting me. But I think was quite relieved to see that it all paid out in the end. Was that a sort of similar situation for yourself?
You know what? Like, yeah, my parents were great to me as a youngster. Anyway, you know, we weren't like blessed financially or anything like that. You know, it was okay. My parents worked. My dad worked extremely hard to give us what we wanted, but we didn't get the luxuries. You know, don't think I ever went on holiday as a kid. And my mum, you know, sadly she's not here anymore. But when she was here, growing up, for my first sort of 6 or 7 years boxing, we lived 40 minutes from my amateur gym, and she'd drive me there every day. She'd scrape together change, so I had £3 subs, and she'd wait outside because she didn't have the fuel to come back and forward, and she did that for constant, like 8 years, until my big brother Assam started driving. So you know, I feel like it's actually horrible that she's not here to see that stuff like this and what's going to happen in the future. It upsets me without, like, you know, getting upset, without crying and stuff, you know, but she'd be so proud, and that's my goal in life, you know. Now I don't care about anything else apart from doing her proud and looking after my whole family, because, you know, what we've been through and stuff, it was brutal, but it's all paying off, and I've got to keep my head down, keep working hard, and I can't let them down.
I'm sorry to sort of bring that up and put a dampener on things, but also it is important, you know, to show this true side to you. And, you know, we're not all, you know, I think a lot of guys see boxing from the outside world, and, you know, they don't. That's why I said let's do something in depth. Let's not do it at the workouts and stuff like that, because, you know, as much as it's good to do interviews there, it's nice to be able to sit and have an actual chat and sort of get a grasp of someone's background and their upbringing and stuff. You know, you are doing this for her, and this is something that, you know, she won't be here to see, unfortunately, but wherever, heaven, whatever, you know, religion, whatever, she'll be there and happy and so proud of you.
Yeah, no, I believe she's watching down upon me 1,000,000%. And you know, sometimes I close my eyes and I just talk to her, but I genuinely, it gives me that inner strength, and you know, I'm here to do a job. I've got, you know, a lot riding on this now. Before I boxed, it was for myself. But now I'm here to do it, to change my family's life, change my life, and all of us, yeah.
And what a motivation that is. I mean, if that doesn't give you the driving force, then what else will?
Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, of course, but it's like anything. With anything, it takes a lot of hard work, persistence, and dedication over years and years. I started boxing when I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old and I was about 11 stone. I was so overweight, and that's the main reason I started boxing, just to lose weight, and to be sat here to you today talking to you. It just shows you, you know, kids out there now. Like, anyone says like you can't do something, people laughed at me when I said to them I'd be a pro boxer.
Well, we're sort of proof of that as such, yeah. Because doing it from such a young age, being able to show that if you do put hard work, and like we both say, you know, we never had it to us handed on a plate. But if you work hard enough, you will reap the rewards, and if you put your mind to it, then it's something that can be achieved.
No, most definitely. And you know what's mad? On my phone today, I'll show you in a sec. Facebook shows you memories done it. So 7 years ago today, I was in Zelfa's gym with Pat, sparring Zelfa, I'll show you the picture in a bit. I'm going to send it him actually, because me and Pat was talking last night literally about how people always show you, you know, because these days social media and everything, all you ever see is what people are doing, what they're up to, but no one ever shows you where they come from.
I mean, that's funny you should say that, because I looked on my thing and it was just before I went to the airport, and my mum was like, I wonder what you were doing a couple of years ago, and it was just a picture of me revising for my science GCSE, so slightly different, but the same point.
I don't think there's any memories on my phone of me revising, to be fair, but yeah, no, it's mad, and you know, it just shows you that work hard and elevation comes, definitely.
Well, let's go on to Pat Barrett and Zelfa. You managed to share the same card, which is special in itself. But sort of growing up, being able to be around people like that. Obviously, Pat and Zelfa come on so much in the last couple of years. But from an early age, having those sort of people around you, supporting you, sort of taking care and, you know, wanting you to do the best, that must be so important.
Yeah, you know, Pat and Zelfa have been great to me over the years. I've had going to their gym sparring regularly, you know, learning and you know, them giving me pointers and helping us out. Even before I was a pro, I'd go there and Pat would be good to us. And it's just mad that, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and Zelfa's in this fight now because he was supposed to be. And seeing him here for me is big, because I like I was saying, kids watching us here, it's like me watching him, seeing what hard work and dedication can do. Do you know what I mean? He's fighting for a world title now. He changes his life on Saturday night, and yeah, man, what an opportunity for him. So I hope he does it. Yeah.
And for Chantel, a real sort of, she's had her fight, she's become world champion. But you know, we talk about the depth in women's divisions. It's still growing, but this is a real fight. We saw Jessica McCaskill years back in a good fight with Katie Taylor. Since then, she sort of moved up the divisions, and she shows that she can stick down on the gum shield and just go toe to toe in what is a really good women's undisputed clash.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's going to be a great fight. But I genuinely feel that Chantel is probably one of the top 3 women pound for pound, and on Saturday she gets her opportunity to not only prove that, become undisputed. You know, it's the biggest fight in boxing. You know, that's what, like, if there was a goal for anyone that, you know, and they start boxing, and a world title's one thing, unified, which she is one thing, but then undisputed it is the pinnacle of boxing, isn't it? So she's up there, and she's had a great camp, so I'm expecting a great performance and you know, a big win and a big party.
Just finally from me, moving away from sort of yourself, the camp, the card, you know, we got the heavyweights. Tyson Fury takes a sort of a voluntary challenge, and Derek Chisora, someone that he's fought before, but a long time ago now. You know, it's had its criticism. True Geordie done that interview with him. I imagine you would have seen the outburst. What did you make of it, and what do you make of the fight itself?
I don't know. I feel like Tyson Fury, sometimes he's difficult. I know, like, he's had his mental health problems and stuff, but he's come through that now. He's showed how strong he was. But I feel like sometimes when he gets questioned and it's not the questions he likes, he can sort of get away with, like, saying what he wants and do what he wants. He is the heavyweight champ of the world, and listen, if he stuck it on me like that, I'd probably say it's all right as well. But yeah, I think Chisora fight, I'm not too keen on it, to be honest. Will I be tuning in? Probably, because
we're boxing fans.
But realistically, is it the fight we want to see? No. There's a fight we all want to see out there, and I'm sure, you know, that could have been made if both parties. Well, you don't know, actually, to be fair. There's so much stuff that goes on that we don't know, but yeah, I would like to see this fight, obviously, and it's fine because he's having a takeover, but you want to see him, Usyk.
You want to see the names on the resume, don't you?
That's what we need to see now with Tyson Fury, don't we? And to be fair, it does sound like he will, because recently he's saying, you know, he might carry on for 10 years and all that sort of stuff. So, but he changes every day, doesn't he? So you never know. But yeah, I hope we see them fights, because it'd be a shame if we didn't.
Finally, before we get a last message from yourself, Conor Benn, obviously had that big fight with Chris Eubank cancelled. Don't want to sort of touch on that too much because I feel like every interview we are sort of forced to ask, but then again people do want to hear it. They want to hear opinions, they want to hear what people have got to say. But sort of just for me, we've seen that it wasn't the one test now, it was the two tests. A lot of people sort of showing disappointment. Obviously there is a legal case that will have to go on behind closed doors, but what did you think of the whole thing?
I don't know. I've been boxing my whole life and no one's ever came over to me and said, do you want this steroid or what, make you stronger, bigger, fast? I don't know. So I don't really know much about it. Obviously, Conor Ben's got a case now, and I believe that there can be accidents, obviously. And if he is an unfortunate accident, which is horrible for him, he deserves to be banned. And that's just the way it is. Every crime, whether it's an accident, you could run someone over by accident and you'll be punished for it, if they die. So he might have had something that he didn't know was in the food or whatever it was. You should be punished for it realistically. And does that make him guilty? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because whether it's an accident or not, you've done something that could have had a really big impact, or you could have done something where if that fight went ahead, imagine, and you found out after and something happened. It's happened in the past,
Especially with the weight. So it's dangerous and it's brutal.
Yeah. So in my opinion, if he's found guilty, he deserves a ban. Yeah.
Finally, to the people at Boxing Social, we'll see you again live on DAZN this weekend, this Saturday. Just a final message from yourself and to the people supporting you, always cheering you on.
I can't wait for Saturday. I've trained not for this, like I said, 10, 12 weeks, my whole life, to be on shows like this, with opportunities like this. I've got a lot of people coming out, and I fight for them and I fight for my family, like I said. And it's going to be a big show on Saturday with a big performance from Aqib Fiaz.
Aqib, top man, thank you for speaking to me at Boxing Social. It's been a long time coming. We've been liking each other's tweets, we've been liking each other's Instagram posts, so top man.
Yeah,
Got the team t-shirt. Oh, my guy, I'm part of the team now. Thank you.